Are we ready?
I think so. Yes, we're leaving.
You probably read the title right. And no, that is not clickbait. We have some pretty exciting news and some pretty big news. Potentially the biggest of our whole lives.
Online lives.
Online life, yeah. What's happening?
We, collectively, are leaving.
We've been filming this. This is probably about a 20-second long clip, but it's been a car crash so far. What's happening?
We're moving.
We're moving to Australia, at least for the foreseeable future. We aren't making any bold commitments in this video. I'm not going to sit here and be like, 12 months from now we'll be living somewhere in Australia still. 4 years from now we'll be living somewhere in Australia still. We don't know, but we are going with the intent to stay at least for the foreseeable future.
And we are hoping it'll be like 6 to 8 years.
Don't joke. Don't put that out there. My mum will be ringing me up when this video goes live, being like, Molly. We are leaving to go to Australia on the 14th of November, so really not very long. And I toyed with the idea, or we toyed with the idea, mainly me actually, with not telling you until we got there, and like kind of doing it how we did with Asia, where we didn't announce we were going until we were in the airport. But to be honest, that was more from a point of view where with Asia we had to do like so many COVID tests that we didn't actually know like if we would be going on that date, whereas this time it should, fingers crossed, be a little bit more straightforward.
Pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Also, all I can look at is the sun sitting on my t-shirt like moving, and I'm so sorry, but I can't really do much about that.
Flying the 14th, we'll get there the morning of the 16th because they're ahead 11 hours.
Yeah.
And the flight is a lot of hours. I actually don't know how long the flight is.
Well, the flight is 24 hours, but we're doing it in 29 because of our layover.
We are changing in Singapore.
Singapore. Honestly, we looked at so many flights. I keep forgetting. Somebody the other day asked me which airline I was flying with, and I was like, God, I can't remember. Like, we looked...
Was it Singapore Airlines?
Singapore Airlines we're flying with, yeah, but we looked at so many different flights connecting in so many different places. We were this close to connecting in Hong Kong. So yeah, we fly on the 14th, connecting in Singapore, and then onwards to Sydney.
Very excited.
So as you can imagine, guys, behind the scenes for the last while, there's been a lot going on, a lot of sorting out, a lot of organisation. Like, trips like this don't just come together overnight, especially when your plan is to be out of the country for a full year. Like, you have to get so much in order before you leave that obviously there's been a lot of stuff that has not been in the vlogs, and I do sort of feel like we've been keeping a secret from you.
Me?
Not from you.
You're looking at me when you said that. Yeah, from the viewers. But in all fairness, it kind of only 100% got confirmed like 3-ish weeks.
Yeah, we only cleared a visa 3 weeks ago, so we left it quite last minute, and that was just because when we came back from Asia we had a rough plan in our head that we wanted to do this. Like, it was not something that was like a complete surprise or shock. We just never had a date. We just never knew like when we were going to start the ball rolling, when we were going to set the plans into action. Originally we didn't know if it would be earlier, we didn't know if it would be a lot later, pushing into next year, or like after next year. Like, we just didn't really know, but the timings just all came together and like everything fell into place, really. It
did, and then Daryl got in touch, who you travelled with last time.
Yes.
And yeah, the ball just kind of got rolling, as you said, really.
Yeah, so Daryl works at Welcome to Travel, and if you watched my Australia series last time, you might know I've been to Australia before, and the first week of my trip I did a Welcome to Travel tour in Melbourne, and I had, honestly, one of the best weeks of my life, and I really stand by that. That was probably one of, if not the best tour I've ever done whilst travelling. So he reached out, he knew that it was on my like agenda to go back, and he was like, I really want to help you sort out an itinerary. So we've been doing that, haven't we?
I had a few calls with him on an evening here, well, in the morning there.
And I think, I don't want to jinx it, but we've got just about everything sorted out now.
We have, yeah, up to New Year at least.
Touch wood.
That's not wood.
Doesn't matter, I don't want to jinx it. Thank you. Basically, I just kind of thought we would answer a couple of questions. Obviously, I haven't put this out online, so the questions that we've got aren't from you guys, but we've not kept this secret from the people in our lives, have we?
No, everyone that's important to me knows.
Yeah, everybody knows. Like, this is the worst kept secret ever, because like, it's not a secret, and if you've been watching the vlogs, I've dropped very, very many hints, and also all my close friends and family and like people I work with all know that this is happening. So I actually don't know how it's not been more obvious, to be honest.
Some people have guessed.
Yeah, quite a lot of people have guessed actually, but I haven't confirmed it either way. But what I will say is, when we've told these people, we have always been met with the exact same questions. Like, I feel like we've got a little script now when people speak to us. They'll ask like this, and like Tom and I have almost got a practiced answer because...
Which is what we're telling you.
Exactly. So I think the main one we've got is like, what's your plan? What are you doing?
How long are you going for?
Yeah.
Which is just kind of we don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going on a year visa, so up to a year, but there's always the option to extend as well. There's always the option to come back, we don't know.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes really. If we enjoy it longer, if we want to come home, we'll come back earlier, and I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
there's no pressure at all then. Guess what are we doing?
Yeah,
so
that's the main one.
We are doing a tour, and then we're planning on living together either in Sydney or Melbourne for 3 months.
Why did you phrase it like that? Could we live separately? Should we go out there, do a tour, and then live separately?
How else would you word it? We are living. Just we are living. Sorry,
it just sounded funny. It made it think.
We don't live together.
No, I know. Yeah, that is a. Oh, bloody! I can't do it. Right, we moved because the light's driving me up the wall.
Living together.
Yeah. So Tom and I have actually never lived in a property together. We obviously travelled for like 4 months, so we sort of did live together.
Yeah,
for
just
4
in
months.
Different places, but the idea of this is that it will be one place.
Yeah.
Probably for about 3 months. Again, this is all like, nothing is set in stone, so it could just be like after a month of living in Sydney, we're like, oh, let's go try Melbourne, or vice versa, or like, oh, well, we're done living now, let's go and travel again. I don't know. We'd really just have a loose plan, I'd say. A
very, very loose plan. The only thing currently, as I'm filming this to put out to you guys, that we have set in stone is the first 6 weeks, which is when we're going to do the East Coast. So I thought the best way for us to do this together is to travel for the first 6 weeks, because obviously I have already seen Australia, but Tom hasn't. And I do think that if we want to pick somewhere to live, Tom can't really make an informed decision without seeing the places that we're kind of picking between. And obviously it's all well and good me being like, I think we should pick Sydney, or I think we should go to Brisbane, but Tom like has got no reference for those places.
So I just want to see everywhere, and then we'll collectively make a decision, I
yeah
guess.
Plus I also think it's quite exciting travelling first. The current plan takes us really nicely up to
like New Year, I'd say.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Where we're going to be back in Sydney. Obviously when we started putting this plan into action, we were like, if we're going to spend Christmas and New Year away from home, where do we want to spend New Year's Eve?
Sydney.
Was that your Taylor Swift impression?
Yeah. Sydney is supposed to be one of the best places in the world for New Year's, with the fireworks and the harbour and everything, so it just would be an amazing experience, really.
Yeah, that kind of gave us like a rough thing to be working towards. So we knew, okay, we're going to do the East Coast in the run up to Christmas and New Year, and then be back down in Sydney for New Year's Eve. So we're actually doing it in reverse to what I did.
We are actually, I've never thought of it like that.
We are flying into Sydney. Our first week is going to be with Welcome to Travel on their Sydney tour, which I did not do last time. It didn't exist last time I was there. So they now do like a welcome tour, the same as in Melbourne but in Sydney, and then from there we're going to fly to Cairns.
We're then going to work our way back down from Cairns to Sydney.
You can work your way up or down the coast. It's a very backpacked route.
It is. The route everyone does, really, if you're doing the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's not really another way you can do it.
No. Oh, another one that we get a lot, and we're both getting this a lot when we tell people that we're going on a working holiday visa, is, are we going to be working whilst we're over there?
The answer is yes, once we find somewhere to live together.
Yeah, so like I say, the only thing currently set in stone is until January. The job hunt and the flat hunt will come after that.
And that's going to be interesting because we have no idea what we're going to get or do.
Yeah.
Or I would love to get something in my field, and I'm sure Molly would as well. We're also like really open to like bar work or that kind of thing, because I think it'd be a really good experience to do that like in Australia. I just think like that's a really backpacker thing to do and to experience. So I'm not bothered either way, but if I can get something in graphic design or anything like that, that'd also be a big bonus.
Yeah, for me, I'm like quite on the fence right now about whether or not I'm gonna, I don't want to say get a job because it sounds like I don't have a job. Like obviously this is coming with me to Australia. I'm so lucky in that I can work from wherever. I'm super flexible, and I will not be stopping the social media at all. It's going to be upped if anything. I do think that there's an element of getting a job sounds quite fun for the social side of it. Like to me, if Tom is going out to work like every day or like 4 days a week, I don't love the thought of being like in our flat or wherever we live just alone a lot of the time, because I really hope we do have friends, and I'm sure that we will, but I do kind of think because of the social side it would be fun to like work in a bar, work in a cafe, just like a couple of nights a week, top the funds up and meet new people that we wouldn't meet otherwise. Like
they're often the highlights of being in certain places. Like I instantly think of like Thailand. I think of like all like the tour guides and like specific people we were with in Thailand, and then like
the amazing group of friends that we've kept from that.
You have so many so many memories with the people as well in the amazing places. They're just as important.
Yeah.
Like if we'd done everything by ourselves, yes, it would have still been incredible, but
not anywhere near as good. No, I think that the people are what make travelling for sure, and I think that's kind of why I'm looking at like, well, maybe part-time work would be a really good way of getting out of the house and like doing something different as well. Like I love the idea. For me, when I'm imagining this, I'm imagining myself working in like a surf shop and just like renting out boards or like, you know, putting stuff I don't know, I just think something very Australian. But like we say, that's a big question mark and it is just up in the air like most of this trip. So if you have questions that you think, oh my gosh, what the hell, we'll probably answer them as it goes along, because like we don't really know the answer ourselves yet, and everything we know the answer to we've kind of just answered here. How are you feeling 2 weeks post departure? No, pre-departure.
We actually spoke about this and I don't know the correct word. I think it's apprehensive is the word that I'm looking for. I'm not nervous, like, 'cause I'm actually really excited, but I'm also a bit like, to be fair, I'm quite good at not thinking about things. Molly will agree with this.
You are, yeah.
So if I kept thinking about this, I'd probably get quite like, whoa, like, why, maybe we shouldn't do this. But I just don't think about it, just take it as it comes, and then it's a lot easier dealing with it for me anyway.
But I'm not pre-stressing or worrying. I'm so excited. I know that we're so flexible. If we hate it, we can come back, and we've kind of taken this as an opportunity, and we're like gripping it with both hands, and we're just being like, this is going to be one of the wildest things we've ever done together, but also potentially probably one of the best. And yeah, apprehensive is the right word, because we're into the final stretch now, so we've started saying like goodbyes, which is weird.
Doing the rounds of people.
Yeah, family members, friends. Weird feeling. And obviously neither of us have ever been away from home for this amount of time.
It is a long time.
It is.
That is the only thing when I do think about it, I'm like, a year is a while.
Yeah, it is.
But then I just don't think about it.
True. And then I also think in reverse as well, how quick the last year has flown by.
That's true.
If you guys have been watching for a while, you will know how much going to Australia meant to me. And I joke about it because I banged on about it, and all my friends are like, you made it your whole personality. But like, I sort of did, because it just has such a special place in my heart because of how happy I was when I was there. And I've been waiting since the day I returned to go back to Australia. This is a long time coming, and it probably isn't a shock to anybody.
It's definitely not a shock to me.
It's not a shock to you.
This is something that we both want to do, but I just think if we don't do it now, we'll probably never do it, and then that's a regret that I would definitely live with 100%.
Yeah. Having already done Asia together, we know that we loved that. We know we can travel together. We didn't fight, like it worked really well.
We got along very well.
We did.
It's exciting.
We've been vlogging like all of the little behind the sceney bits, haven't we? So from as far back as July, when I first spoke to Daryl about this, to we had to go for a health screening for our visa. I vlogged that, to the visa application process. Like, I have a lot of content coming, so I don't want to waffle too much.
This has been a long process to get to this point as well.
It
like,
has.
You forget about all those things. Like, there's so many things like that have gone into this point.
Yeah.
And it's,
and I documented all of it, so that will be coming probably, if not my next video, very, very soon. But this is more just an announcement to say that it's happening, that we leave in 6 days from now. We are waffling, so we're gonna stop.
Let's leave it there.
But this is the announcement. You guys now know. I hope
Molly's pregnant.
I think I might tease on Instagram that there's an announcement coming, and I definitely will get that DM.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
We are engaged.
Not that either. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it. It has been a hard secret to keep. I've wanted to tell you for ages, and now that it's out, we can answer all the questions on it.
Are you gonna cry?
Am I gonna cry?
When your mum cries, will you cry?
Yeah. Will you cry?
No.
You won't cry? No. I bet you might have a little tear.
Maybe when I've played my last game of football. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. No.
It's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to get going. I almost just want to go now.
I know, yeah, there is an element
like
of...
it's just like, it's there, and it's like, I feel like we're just waiting.
Yeah, it does feel like we're just waiting now, but make sure you're following me over on TikTok, over on Instagram. Tom is going to be using Instagram quite a lot as well, so you could definitely head over, follow the pair of us, follow this adventure, because it is going to be an adventure.
It's going to be a wild one.
We appreciate the support. You guys literally are enabling us to do this, and that means the most.
Thank you very much for watching. We will see you in the next Australia video.
Yeah, you will.
If I'm in that one, I'll see you in that one. Molly will definitely see you in the next one.
You are in all of them.
Okay, I'll see you in the next one.
Bye guys.
Bye.
We're going to Australia. Da, da, da.
Why are you still filming?
Oh my gosh, wait. You could have brought the friend.
Ow.
This guy.
Yeah,
look.
Jimmy.
He's called Jimmy. He's not called, no, he's not called Jimmy.
What were the Koala brothers called? They had the plane.
Yeah, I know the Koala brothers.
They used to start it and they used to fly off.
Yeah, the theme tune was like, here come the Koala brothers, helping on its way.
Yeah, but what were they called?
I don't know. What were the Koala brothers called, guys? Can we name this one?
Jimmy.
No, they weren't called Jimmy.
Jimmy and...
It was
I
Tommy.
think it was Tommy.
What were the koala brothers called?
Frank and Buster. Where'd you get Tommy from?
I thought he was called Tommy. So this is Buster because that's a way better name.
Buster. Frank and Buster.
That's not an Australian accent.
I need to be around the accent to learn.
I know, same. I can say good day.
Good day, mate. One of a shrimp on the barbie.
Koala.
So what is he? Mickey or Buster?
He's a Buster. Buster. Frank. Koala bear.
Mickey. Mickey's alright.
Mickey is a mouse.
No.
He's called Buster.